What is going on, guys? DBG here, and it is the middle of the month again, which means we are going to be doing what has been my most popular videos of 2K21, ranking the best cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So, lads, this video right here is all my opinion. It's all based on how I play the game. I've used almost all these guys on both gens. There are some cards I've only used on one gen, some cards I've only used on the other. I'll be basing most of this list based on, I think I'm going to go 70% current gen, 30% next gen. So there will be some, I think, next gen gods will be ranked quite highly. As well as that, I've definitely forgotten some players, and I'm pretty sure all of these guys are good players. I'm sure all of these guys are good. So guys that I have in F tier, it does not mean they're bad. It's just like last year, like when we ended up going to, like, say, the best, like, 100 cards in the game last year. There were guys like J.R. Smith that were in, like, the second to bottom tier, which was kind of, like, crazy when we were looking at it. But it is literally just a case that there are so many good cards in the game that there's a lot of good cards, and there has to be some people in F tier. So we are going to start off with Allen Houston. So these are all our cards right here. But Allen Houston, he's going E tier. He is not a bad player by any means, but he doesn't do anything except hit wide open jumpers. He's okay. I'm pretty sure a month ago he was in, like, C or D tier, but it just shows how many great cards we've got in the last month. Allen Houston, for me anyway, he is down here in E tier, but that does not mean he's a bad card. He is a very, very solid card. So Houston, he's gone into E. And we got Allen Iverson. So, how do I feel about Iverson? F. I don't mind him. And I'm going to say this right now, like, he's not that bad, but he is F tier. He's definitely not as good as a Houston. There are people that can have a lot of success with this card. He's just straight up not as good as Allen Houston. Iverson is F tier. Andre Kirilenko. I mean, he's D tier if we're or he's D or E tier if we're talking next gen. He is probably A tier. He's A tier. AK is A tier. There is no... I'm not questioning this specific position here. Andre Kirilenko's at A tier. The fact that you're still hearing people talk about him in their 250k squads, I have a feeling that, like, Ty's going to run him, Splash might run him. Badged up Andre Kirilenko is right now in A tier. For a card that came out in December and was a diamond to still be in A tier is kind of crazy. But yeah, AK, no question about it for me anyway, is in A tier. Especially if you guys are playing a current gen, he's just a god. Chicken Man's going A tier as well. The guy doesn't miss. He's the best shooter in the game. The best catch and shoot release in the game. No question about it. There is no player in the game. Fate of the universe on the line. I want Antoine Jameson. Like, yeah, there's no better catch and shoot player in the game. There's a reason I refer to the guy as Chicken Man. Like, he will not be replaced for quite a while on my team. Unless they come out with a new XM base player. Or somebody... I'm trying to even think, is there any similar bases to XM base? Someone with, like, Curry base, I don't know. That is as good. But yeah, Jameson, well and truly is Chicken Man. AD, our first S tier player. Davis is the best big man in the game. Yeah, he is. Davis, like, point center cheesing with Davis, like, is one of the most OP things in the game. He's just an overall beast of a card. There's nothing really that Anthony Davis does not do really, really well in my team. And we got Baron Davis. I'm sorry if you guys grind it for him and you like him. Baron Davis, I mean, he's C tier. He's objectively C tier. He's fine. Like, he's not as bad as people said he was to start. But, like, he's very comparable to a Russell Westbrook. He's got a better release than Westbrook, but not as good on defense. So, he's kind of at that level. He might get moved down to D. Honestly, I'm going to have to see where the rest of the point guards are on this list. But there are guys that are much lower overalls. I'm just going to give one example. Kobe White's just better than Baron Davis. I think I'm going to have to move Baron down to D. Baron's still good, though. Like, he's still good. He's just D tier. Ben Gordon, he's good as well. But he's not... I don't think he's any better than Baron Davis. I get it. The guy's got half range extender. He's got Rose release on quick. He's got a lot of things going for him, but I don't think I can objectively say he's better than Baron Davis. So, Ben Simmons. This is a tough one because depending on your playstyle, he could be F tier or he could be S tier. All depending on your playstyle. So I'm going to put him, because he can be a liability, I'm putting Simmons in B tier. But, there is a but here. I have to put an asterisk in that Ben Simmons has the potential to be an S tier player. If he suits your playstyle, if he suits the way you play this game, and like, he can be borderline unstoppable. He can be so difficult if he suits the way that you play this game. So Ben Simmons, B tier, but he could be higher. Bill Russell, I mean, he's just worse Bob Love. He's just worse Bob Love. I'm saying not Bob Love, Bob McAdoo. He's literally his worst Bob McAdoo. He's kind of similar to Wilt, maybe better than Wilt, but as far as centers go, I think there are quite a few that are better than him. He'd be like A tier if we're talking about purely centers, but the fact that he's not even top tier in his position, and there's like 4 or 5 centers that are, or 5 or 6 centers that are just objectively better than him, C tier. Bill Walton, I mean, if there was a worthless tier, it would be for Bill Walton. Bill Walton is the worst player here, and it's not even close. Like, it is not even close. The guy is a straight up garbage man. Like, at least, like, Iverson has some redeemable qualities. Like, you can 3-hunt with him and he can shoot. I mean, I don't know if there's a redeemable quality for Bill Walton. The guy is a straight up garbage man. I might end up, if there's enough, I'm trying to think, are there any other garbage men on this list? Are there any other garbage men? He's a garbage man. And is that it? Yeah, like, there's some not great cards that land the bottom tier, but there's no other garbage men apart from Tom Chambers and Bill Walton. But Tom Chambers, oh my god, even Evo, this guy's so bad. He's got one of the worst releases in the game, and he's got the Joakim Noah chest pass upper. Oh, he is. He's absolutely horrendous, lads. He is horrendous. Blake Griffin. I mean, Blake's better than Bill Russell. Can I say that? No, Blake's A tier. Blake's A tier. Blake's A tier. I'm not going to... Yes, there are better cards than Blake right now, but there is no question about it that Blake Griffin belongs here in A tier and not S tier. Or not lower than that. Some people are very quick to say Blake is outdated. I still think when Blake fully badged up is one of the better centers in the game. Like, he still is, in my opinion, fully badged up Blake is still better than Dino. He's still better than E. Like, he's still one of the better centers in the game. He's just no AD. So, yeah, A tier is fine for him. Brook Lopez. I mean, I like him. I use him. He's F tier. No question about that. I genuinely, I've used this guy so often. I only sold him like 2 weeks ago. Like a week ago. I've used him so often. I've had so much success with him, but he's objectively F tier on this tier list. We're talking about the best of the best. He's down near the bottom. But the fact he's on the tier list means he has some redeemable qualities. Walton's just here because he's noble. He's garbage. Russell, E. I like Scotty release on quick. And when we first to say that, I like Scotty release on quick. It's awful on normal. I think on quick it's good, and I think every release on very quick is going to be good, by the way, when they eventually go to that stage. But Brian Russell is he's 6'8", got length, an elite defender with his half clamps, got goal range extender, good release. I just think he's that solid 3-and-D cone. I think that is where E tier is where he kind of belongs. He shoots, and his jump is nice. Cam Reddish. I think one tier below wherever Paul George is going to be, and I don't know whether I'm going to put Paul George in A tier or B tier. I think I'm going to put Cam in B. I mean, he's still good. His like silver range is a bit of a problem. That's like literally the only negative of his card. He's still really, really good, and I do not regret on one of my accounts doing the Cam Reddish glitch for the card. He was great for the time. Carmelo Anthony. I mean, if we're talking current gen, the guy's B tier. If we're talking next gen, the guy's borderline S tier. I mean, Jameson's also borderline S tier if we're talking next gen. Oh, I'm gonna put him in the middle. I'm gonna put him in A tier. I don't think he's good on current gen. He's actually very comparable to LeBron. Like, everybody's talking about how LeBron's this exceptional player. Can we just go and compare the two of those guys right now? Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James. Let's have a look. Okay, Just gonna try make this a little bit smaller so that you can see it at full screen. So let's compare Carmelo Anthony to LeBron James. Because LeBron James is like 4 times the price of Carmelo. One difference in hot zones. Obviously shot IQ better for Melo, which is a bad thing. Speed, they're basically the same. Defensively, Melo is better. Like post game and stuff, LeBron's way, way better. Rebounding, Melo, like Melo's a better rebounder than LeBron. And in terms of badges, they both come with we both mostly come with all the defensive badges. You've actually got more defensive badges on Carmelo Anthony. He's got half clamps. They both got quick first step. You've got handles for days on Melo. You don't have it on LeBron. Like, I don't know. Like, I think they're very, very comparable. Neither of them can shoot in the corners on current gen. LeBron, same wingspan. Maybe LeBron gets some better animations. Like, let's have a look at defensive tendencies. Like, even Melo's got better defensive tendencies. I don't think there's much of a difference. I really don't. Like, I would be... Like, I don't like LeBron on current gen either. But, like, Carmelo Anthony, I think, is very comparable to LeBron. And I think on next gen, like, it's still very, very close. Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher's B tier. He's good. Like, I don't think you'll see him being ran in, like, 250 or anything, but he's really good. Like, he's like a plus 10 ladder. Like, if he had a plus 10 lateral quickness, or even if you actually put a defense Grinch shoe on him, he's actually insane. Like, his lateral quickness is a little bit suspect for a power forward, but other than that, though, it's great. His player build's not big enough to play center, though. Way better than Bill Russell. Chris Kaman. I mean, he's not as bad. Like, he's not objectively awful. He's 100 times better than Bill Walton. Like, I like Chris Kaman. I don't like Chris Kaman. I don't think he's worth the lock-in, but I haven't even used him in a game. I just used him shooting. When I was doing my Clay gameplay, I was like sitting around waiting for a little bit, just trying to get used to Clay's release before I went into the gameplay. And I shot around a little bit with Chris Webber, Chris Kaman, and he shoots fine. He plays fine. He doesn't do anything great, but he's not F tier. He's E tier. Chris Webber, this is a really tough one. It's like, do I put him in B or do I put him in A? Because I think his release puts him in A. He is another one of the chicken men. Like, his release is so good. And his release is something that will, like, set him apart from a lot of similarly, like, rated players. But yeah, his release, I'm a big fan of that. Clint Capella. I mean, if Clint Capella could shoot, he's a really good defender. Like, Clint Capella is objectively a really, really good defender in this game. So, for me, anyway, Capella isn't unusable. He's better than Bill Walton, but I think we can say that about everybody. He's not, like... The fact that he's bottom tier doesn't mean he's unusable. He's actually fairly okay. Then we have got Kobe White. Kobe White's C tier. He's definitely not... Like, I can't put him on the same tier as Ben Simmons. That's just ludicrous. But Kobe White is really, really good. Like, there is one cheaper point guard that's way better, but, like, he got the Curry, he's got the great dribble style. He's basically, like, Jamal Murray's exceptional. He's basically a completely juiced up Jamal Murray. So, Kobe White, C tier. And we got Dame. I mean, Dame and Kobe White, I'm putting on the same tier. The way I play the game, my experience using both of these guys, I'm putting Dame Lillard and Kobe Bryant on the exact same tier. So not Kobe Bryant, Kobe White on the exact same tier. I think it's a close one between the two of them. I think Dame's obviously his half range is big. Kobe White's got, again, he can curry. Kobe White's 2 inches taller. Stats wise, they're quite similar. Like, a lot of people would take Dame. I'd probably take Kobe White, but I do believe that they are both on the same tier. Because there's one guy that I think is way better. I'm gonna say this now. I'm just gonna put him here now because I know you guys are gonna go absolutely crazy. Actually, two guys. We're gonna have Smush Parker. Wherever Smush Parker is. There we go. Smush Parker is in a tier above these guys. Hear me out. Here's Amethyst. He's basically Kobe White with a 90 dunk, but a better release. Like, his defense is elite. He's got juiced up tendencies. He plays lanes really well. 6'4" at the 1, so he's taller than Dame, 1 inch smaller than Kobe White. He's got gold range, the best release in the game off the quick stop as far as I'm concerned this year, apart from maybe 98 on quick. He's got one of the best catch and shoot releases in the game. He's got unbelievable dribble style. He's got unbelievable handles. Like, Kobe or Smush Parker belongs in that tier. Very, very slightly ahead of Dame Lillard and Kobe White. Very, very slightly ahead of them. But quite a bit, in my opinion, ahead of Ben Gordon and Baron Davis. Granger. I love Granger. I really like Danny Granger. I think I might be over. Am I over pumping the top tiers? Am I over pumping the top tiers? Granger, like the guy's 6'9". He's 6'9" with an elite wingspan, plays lanes unbelievably well, has moderately good defensive badges, unbelievable release. Only playing the game with 29 on quick as far as I'm aware. And like half range. Like Granger's A tier. He's A tier, no question. Ayton. Better than Cayman, not as good as Russell. D tier. Ayton's good though. Ayton is really, really good. That's all I'm gonna say. And when you have him badged up, he's a really, really nice player. But I do think there are a good few better centers than him. But again, he's a lot better than Cayman, so put him there. Buggy. B or C for Buggy. I'm not sure though. He's not as good as Blake. Yeah, I can't object. Like, I cannot objectively say Chris Boucher is better than him. Chris Boucher does some things better than him, but again, at both of them at their primary positions, like Buggy's probably a better center than Boucher, but Boucher's a better power forward. I'm gonna put them on sim. Like, they're both good dribbling centers, can both shoot the ball. Boucher's got a little bit more speed and length. He's at that wingspan that feels longer than 7'4". Buggy is just a wide body. So yeah, B tier. But also Boucher's a much better release. Dino's on that same tier as these guys. Dino's on that same tier. You guys are probably expecting to put Dino in S tier, but like, nah. Like, there is, like, AD is a level above everybody in A tier, and I do believe these guys in A tier are better. Like, I still think Blake's better than Dino. Badge Blake, I still think is better than Dino. So yeah, Dino's B tier. Sabonis. As much as you guys know how much I love this card. He's E tier. Like, if you guys don't know, I love this Sabonis card. I will constantly talk about him in my 2K for free series. I will constantly talk about this card. He is an absolute god. For me, for a budget. But I mean, he's not better than Ayton. Like, he's not better than Badged Ayton. He's not better. Like, he's maybe not even better than Cayman. Draymond. I'm sorry, Draymond. You are one of the chicken men of this game. I'm telling you, when Pink Diamond Draymond with Draymond release on Quick comes out, you better believe that card's unbelievable. If that card comes out on Friday, people are running him 250. I'm telling you that right now. If Draymond is the domination reward, I'm pulling a 24-hour. I'm probably gonna pull a 24-hour stream and get Draymond Green. That's how good Draymond is. But yeah, Draymond, his stats and stuff are just too outdated. He's just not it anymore. And that's fine. That's fine. I tried to argue Draymond long enough, but he's just not it, unfortunately. But he'll be back. I'm sure of that. Draymond will be back. Now we got Wade. I'm going to put him A because I can't put him near so much Parker, but I don't like him that much. And when he first said it, I don't like Wade that much. I think there are definitely better point guards. He's definitely not S tier anymore. But he is good. Like, he does shoot the ball really well. Maybe I have a bias because this guy's D tier on next gen. He's awful. Like, that release, I'm telling you, is awful next gen. But he is, like, probably... Is he the best card on current gen? Him or AK are the best cards here. Obviously, next gen, he's the worst card by a mile right here. But yeah, let's put him A tier. Eddie Jones. As much as I love Eddie Jones, he's definitely better than Houston. But I don't think I can put him above D tier. He's all right. Eddie Jones is all right. Fred VanVleet. Freddie is a card that I had a lot of fun using. He's better than Allen Iverson. But, I mean, I can't put him in the same class as Baron Davis and Ben Gordon. He's closer to F tier than he is to D tier. A lot of people have this card. A lot of people have fun with him. I mean, the guy is objectively fine. That's the only way I can describe him. He's objectively fine. If you're using him. But he is still small. And taller point guards are becoming the meta. You better believe if you're running him against Simmons, you're going to get eaten alive. If you're running him... and someone has Simmons, I don't know, LeBron at the 3, T-Mac at the 2, you're being poked by whoever you put him on. So, yeah, he's fine offensively. Defensively, he's going to really struggle. Gary Payton, A tier. I prefer Wade to Payton, but I know a lot of competitive players prefer Payton to Wade. So I'm going to put them both in the same tier. Although, that is only my opinion on current gen. I don't think either of them are spectacular next gen, but if I was talking next gen, Peyton would be like B tier. Peyton's still good and still objectively good on next gen though, whereas Wade just isn't. Jeff Petrie. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to put Petrie on the same level as like a Ben Gordon or a Baron Davis. He's kind of similar to a Wade in a way and not similar. Like Showtime's so important on current gen and he's a garbage man on next gen. So that's kind of a problem. He doesn't really abuse the most overpowered mechanic in current gen, and then on next gen, where that overpowered mechanic isn't as important, his release is just awful because he's 98 on normal. Gervin. Mr. Boring himself. He does everything moderately well without doing anything great. I mean, he's D. If we are talking about the fun factor, Gervin is not even on this list. He's one of the least fun players in the game to use because everything he does is bang average. But yeah, no, Gervin's D tier. Giannis S. I've played against him enough times on next gen to know that this guy is just a different animal. Like, he is a different animal. I'm sorry. Like, the amount of people that are just rim running and like it literally is out here looking like 2K19 again. It's looking like that pink diamond from 2K19 right now. Like, Giannis, his 3-point rating isn't particularly high, but again, with coach, shoe, floor general, with half corner specialist or go corner specialist, half catch and shoot being applied to him, the guy's not going to miss from the corners. He's the best defensive player in the game and can be used very effectively as a small ball center. So Giannis, S. Hakeem. I mean, when we're looking at best centers in the game, I think these guys are objectively the best too. Hakeem's a beast. He's different to AD. I think he's a little bit worse, but if you want to argue Hakeem's better, I'm not going to hold against you. I think Hakeem's better on next gen. But Hakeem is a much bigger player build, good release, great defense, and he's just a fantastic player. These are the best two centers. It's not even close. Bonga. Hear me out. As much as I prefer Badge Smush, as much as I prefer Eva Smush Parker to Bonga, hear me out. Bonga is going to have the best longevity of any of the point guards we have seen so far. Because not only is he tall with good interior, he's got a good block rating, he can guard people, and he can dunk with Showtime. He is a flawless player. I am such a big fan of this Bonga card. And my whole thing is like, when we inevitably get our point guard Giannis. Last year, the point guard Giannis came in the first week of March. This time last year, we had point guard LeBron James. If you guys don't remember, 97 overall point guard LeBron. When those cards come out, like, you better believe they're going to be just Ben Simmons with a jump shot. And the big thing is that when you've got Ben Simmons with a jump shot, and then you're starting to see Tracy McGrady's the 2, LeBron's the 3, you need 4-5 tall players. Otherwise, you are going to be screwed in terms of just the way people play the game. Like, you're going to need those 5 tall players. And Bonga is that tall player, and he can shoot the ball. He is going to have the most longevity. If we're talking about who I would rather run with right now, Wade, Peyton, or Bonga, give me Bonga, or give me both of these guys. But if you're telling me in 2 months' time, we see more people running with Wade or we're running with Bonga, I think at the end of the year, when we're talking about like the end game tier list, like I was watching Mac and 2K20 videos, like we had a great Peyton card in 2K20 and people were just like, oh no, he's too small, he's unusable. It'll be we are about a month away from people talking about point guards under 6'6" as borderline unusable. And I think Bonga will still be in that conversation as a usable point guard. So that is why Bonga, you're going A tier. Smush Parker, you have your time now. You have your time to shine, but this is a little bit of like foreshadowing that I think that by the time I make another one of these lists when we're talking about middle of March, I think Bonga will be seen as a better player than, say, a Gary Payton. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. Isaiah Thomas, and he's better than Fred. He's really fun. He's like an unbelievably fun player to use. He's tiny. Like, you can move both of these guys down, but he's better than Fred. Jack Marin. I don't like Jack Marin as much as most people like Jack Marin. I'm putting Jack Marin in B tier. I've used him. I'm a fan. Like, I have the card. I have duplicates of the card. He can curry. I like his release. He has a weird load-up animation on next gen. And a lot of people are going to be like yeah, I'm going to base 70% in the current gen. I think he's like he's like an A tier level player. I think he's very similar in current gen to Danny Granger. Like I think it's preference who you prefer, but there's no question about it. On next gen, Jack Marin's not even as good as Cam Reddish. So, yeah, Jack Marin's probably like B or C tier. Like I don't use Jack Marin in my squad. I use Rudy Fernandez instead. When I'm playing next gen, like I use Kyle Anderson over Jack Marin. I could have, if I wanted to, I could have Jack Marin in the squad, but get rid of Kyle Anderson. But I use Kyle Anderson instead. So yeah, Jack Marin B tier. Jameer Nelson, E. He's not good. None of these three guys, literally it's preference. These guys are all on the same level and they're all E tier. Jared Jack, F. I mean, he's better than Iverson. No, he's E tier. He's better than all the guys in the F tier. He's definitely better. He's got that ultra quick release. He's got a weird hitch though on next gen. But again, he's carried me through so much limited I can't put him on F tier. Jalen, D. Like literally Jalen's D tier because of his release. That's it. Like he can get when he's badged up, I wouldn't advise anyone to badge him up, but like when he's badged up, he can get like every good badge, and he also has a really good release as well as great defensive animation. So Jalen, you're D, borderline E, but he is D. Jeremy Lin, I'm gonna wait before deciding on a placement for Jeremy Lin. Okay, let's get our S tier players now. Because I was just looking, I'm like, we're 26 minutes into this. Let's get our S tier players. Let's sort them out. Tracy McGrady, no brainer, S tier. Lonzo Ball, no brainer, S tier. Well, there is gonna be a few more S tier players. Kawhi, S tier. LeBron, S tier. This is just to get more structure in the list. Like this is, for people wonder, it's like, why isn't say X player, Y player, S tier? This is my S tier so far. I might add a few players, one or two players in, but these guys are just different levels. Lonzo's the best point guard in the game. It's not close, especially because he's great on both gens. Tracy McGrady, God tier, absolute God tier. That's all I'm gonna say. LeBron's great. I don't particularly like LeBron. I'm gonna say this, for the way I play, my power forwards don't need the corner. So for that reason, AK is better for me. Current gen. Next gen, give me Melo or Jameson. But like, again, call a spade a spade. LeBron's arguably the best card in this game. So yeah, he's better. He doesn't suit my playstyle. He does not suit my playstyle at all, but he's unbelievable. Especially next gen. LeBron James S tier. No question about that. And then Kawhi is just the best. Well, he's next gen, he's just the best. Current gen, he's just very good. Next gen, he's just simply the best. Yi Jianlian, A. He's the most underrated big man in this game. He might be number 3 after AD and Hakeem Olajuwon when he's badged up. Like, he is incredible. Like, he is the most underrated big man in this game. People are sleeping on this guy. This guy's a god. This guy is a god. He's so much better. Like, he's a lot better in my opinion than Dino. He's a lot better than Chris Boucher. He's a lot better than Boogie. When, like, there are levels to it. These guys, I think, are the best too, and it's not close. Then there's E, and then there's another level below these guys. So, yeah, he's going there. Okay. Jimmy Butler, B. I don't think he's better than Jack Marin. Straight up, I don't think he's better than Jack Marin. They're very similar cards, but I just don't think he's better than Marin. So he's B tier. But he is better than Cam Reddish, though. I'll be the first to say that. He's definitely better than Cam Reddish. So, like, if we're talking about the best players in this tier, it's probably these 3 guys are the best players. But I don't think he's as good as Danny Granger. Again, Granger, it is preference. Some people prefer all of these guys to a Granger or something and move them down. Like, Bonga is literally in there. I mean, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want my comment I don't want to get dislike bombed. For me, Bonga is A tier, and I think in a month's time, Bonga will be seen as objectively better than someone like a Gary Payton, but you just never know. It all depends. Bonga will only be seen as better when we start getting the out of position players. But and it all depends on when that is. Jeremy Lin. Okay, Linsanity. I mean, we've only got 1 point guard in S tier, so I'm going to put him in S tier. for me, Jeremy Lin, the number 2 point guard in this game. Like, he is lit. Like, he's in there solely because, like, he's fantastic. Half clamps, half range, elite release. Jeremy Lin is exceptional. Like, when he's badged up, he's slightly better than his Dwayne Wade on current gen, and he's way better on next gen. He is, again, I think slightly better than Peyton and way better on next gen. Jeremy Lin S tier in my opinion. Yeah, just because I want 2 point guards up here. Embiid. Joel Embiid. Where's Ayton? D tier. Like, he's fine. Like, Embiid does the job. He's alright. He's not great. He's okay. John Hondo Havlicek S tier. One of the best cards in the game. Like, you better believe you better believe at least 60% of people playing 250k will have Hondo. And he's a 2 million lock-in. That is how good he is. Like, the last time we saw people run with a 2 million lock-in, like, that's more expensive. He's way more expensive than Ray Allen was last year. The last time we saw people lock in a set that's as expensive as Inferno was for the GOAT Kareem last year. Like, that's how he's rated. He's rated almost the same as the GOAT Kareem was last year. But yeah, S tier. Stockton. John Stockton Diamond. D. John Stockton Pink Diamond C. Yeah, I think that's fine. John Stockton Diamond's still usable. I don't care what anyone says. If you get a badged out version of him on current gen, he's still more than usable. I don't like him next gen at all. But if you use John Stockton current gen, he's still a beast. J.R. Smith. I mean, again, this guy's still good. But, like, he's better than Eddie Jones. He's a tier above Eddie Jones. C tier. C tier for J.R. Smith. He still shoots it well. Yes, he's not the greatest competitive player. He's an unlimited demon. But, like, he's still a great release. Half range extender, dunks and everybody on Showtime. He's still good. Junior Bridgman, C tier. You got to give Junior Bridgman range. But when he gets range, he's an almost perfect card. He's got great defense. He's got half Showtime, a great release. Obviously, the guy doesn't have range and you got to give it to him. But, he is really good in my opinion. Kenyon Martin. This is a tough one. I'm going A tier. Actually, it's not a tough one. Evo Kenyon Martin is objectively A tier. I don't think anyone's going to argue that Kenyon Martin. I don't think anyone's arguing he's S tier. I think some people will argue he's S tier. I don't think anyone can argue he's lower than A tier. He's got an absolutely elite defense. He's got the Jaylen Brown release. He's got gold range, really good dunker. I'm pretty sure he gets half Showtime as well. There's a reason why you will see a lot of him being around the 250k term this weekend. So A tier is Kenyon Martin. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is C. He's good. Like, this KD is still good. He has flaws. I'll be the first to say it. The guy has flaws. The card has flaws because the card came out in freaking November. Like, we're in middle of February, and the fact that the card is still more than usable online. And again, another player I would not be surprised to see 1 or 2 teams running him in 250. I would not be surprised to see that. Then, did I really forget Yao Ming? Oh no, sorry. Yao Ming's there. Wait, why is... Oh, he's Ming Yao. I was like... It's like, wondering like what I'm going to do with some players. But Kevin Love... Man, I'm a fan of this card. Because he was free and everyone got him, I'm going to put him in E tier. But yeah, he's not very good. He's a little bit slow. He's basically his Dan Issel. He's fine. Mikhail, A. Like, a lot of people hate Mikhail. But I mean, he's objectively good, especially if you're on next gen. Like, he's objectively... I actually prefer E to Mikhail. But I think he is the 4th best center in the game. He's better than Blake, in my opinion. He's better than Chris Webber. Mikhail, a very, very solid card. But, A tier is fair. Mr. Consistency is going right in the middle. Chris Middleton. Middleton going into the middle. Basically, there is no player in the game that I trust to hit a wide open jumper. Actually, apart from Jameson. Jameson, Diamond, Glenn Robinson are the 2 that I trust more often than anyone to hit a jumper. I think Melo's release is better, but Middleton's is right up there at the easiest release in the game of the green. His defense is very, very solid. Problem is, again, he's a jack of all trades player. Doesn't do anything wrong. A solid player. And as much as I do like the card, I'm like, I can't in good conscience put him above Jimmy. I just can't do that. So Chris Middleton, C tier. Clay. I'm sorry to anyone who locked him in. B tier for Clay Thompson. He's not the greatest dunker in the world. Doesn't come with showtime. Yeah, the Curry slide's good. His release isn't good off the dribble. He's a really good catch and shoot player, but he doesn't bring much else. Like, he's not even in the same stratosphere as Havlicek or T-Mac or Dentist. Heck, he's not even. I mean, it's debatable whether he's better than Jimmy Butler or Jack Marin. I'm sorry. If you locked in for him and Klay Thompson your favorite player, you've got a really decent 3-and-D guy on your hands. If you're expecting him to be this god tier player, nah, he's just not. Kobe, B tier as well. Kobe's B tier as well. You can definitely argue him a tier up, but I do think I would take the Lawyer and Klay over him. Granger, again, in that tier, just because I love his release and he's taller. In that tier above. But again, if you want to move Granger down, I have no problem with that. Kristaps Porzingis, B tier. Some people love Kristaps. I'm not the biggest fan. I think Dino's better than Kristaps. Unpopular opinion, but I think Dino's better than Kristaps. I also think Boogie's better than Kristaps. It all depends on really what you need. And I think E is definitely better than Kristaps. I think Kristaps probably better than Boucher. Boucher is probably the worst center on this tier, and we might end up having to move him down. But yeah, Kristaps is a really, really nice shooter. Blocks a ton of shots. But I run a lot of point centers, so he doesn't really suit me. Kyle Anderson. Like, you guys don't. Kyle Anderson is like, feels like his Amethyst when he's Evo is basically Diamond Nick Batum from last year. Oh, I don't know whether to put him in B or C. Like, if you guys don't know, I literally sold. I sold a bunch of my players for him. Just because I have Kyle Anderson. I don't know. He's so good. He's got unbelievable length, unbelievable defense. He's fast. He can dunk it. He's got a great release. He's got range. C. But I kind of want to move him up. Kyrie. Same tier as Dame and Kobe White. I know some people prefer Kyrie. I don't. I simply don't. A lot of people love Kyrie. I hate his release. It's not actually bad on current gen. I'm going to be the first to say that. It's not bad on current gen. I hate it so much on next gen. And I don't know. I just think these guys are better. The way I play the game, I think a Smush Parker is better. If you think Kyrie's better, go ahead. I just think Kyrie is more comparable to a Dame Lillard than he is to a Smush or a Bonga. And like, Bonga's a niche player though. Like, Bonga is one of those players where it's like, if you're taking in a game him or Smush, who's going to feel better? Probably Smush. Even Dame definitely is. It's just he's a 6'8" point guard, so he can guard everyone. If you play switch everything on defense, you can switch on the centers. Aldridge, E. I mean, he's a moderately good pick and pop big man. Larry Bird, wherever Kevin Durant is, C tier. Larry Bird's solid. I mean, he's solid. His stats are a little bit underrated. His overall game is very underrated, as in his dunking, his defense, and everything. But I mean, maybe you can put him in B tier. He's an next gen god. But I mean, like, best you can do is put Larry in B tier. I'm gonna put him C, but I could move him up. This LeBron James B tier. I like him. He's literally the possessed one with all gold badges, but I think he is objectively good. I think there's a lot of people that have been underrating this LeBron James, and I think he is definitely a good player. He's just very, very expensive. Luka Doncic, D tier. He's a good enough point guard. He's not on the level of Kobe White, Kyrie, or Dame. I'm just going to say that right now. Even badged up. He's 6'7" with a really good release. Still not going to be great at going to the basket. Relies a lot on getting those base 29 3-pointers. And yeah, I think he's closer to like a Petrie than he is to those guys. Magic Johnson. He's a niche player, but he's like objectively worse Bonga, so D tier. I don't particularly like him. Like, I don't see any situation where Magic is better than Bonga. Like, Bonga shoots the ball better. He comes with clamps. He's also only 1 inch smaller, but is better, as far as I'm aware, better interior defense. They both Curry slide. Way better release on Bonga. Like, I just don't see any reason to ever buy Marion when Bonga exists. Gasol. I mean, solid pick and pop big man. D tier, maybe. A tier higher. I mean, D or C, one of those two tiers. You're not wrong either way. Fultz. Wherever Jared Jack is. I mean, I like Fultz a beast. He's a limited god. This is the best limited pairing of all time. Jared Jack. Actually, no. Jared Jack and Fultz was the best limited pairing before Bonga existed, and Smush Parker's not good till his Evo, so he's not a limited god. But yeah, this limited pairing was insane for a while. Michael Jordan. A, but he's elite. I think he's that little bit off Kawhi. He's that little bit off. I'm just realized I haven't scrolled up enough. He's that little bit off Kawhi. He's that little bit off LeBron and T-Mac, but Jordan's really good. His defense is the best. His defense is straight out the best. He gets his signature defensive stance. Michael Jordan really is the best perimeter defensive player in the game. I'll be the first to say that, except for maybe AK. AK is pretty good as well. But he can curry. He's got a good release. He's got everything great. Jordan's a beast, man. Jordan's a beast. Okay. Yao Ming. He's a niche. Like, he is literally a niche. I don't know. For lack of a better word, like, the only... Like, if you slow the game to a halt and you're like a post scorer in Pro-Am, Yao's S tier. But if you like to play fast, Yao's F tier. I don't know. Like, I don't know where to put the guy. He is literally just a niche. I'm going to put him in A purely because at his best, but like at his best, he's S. And I'm not putting him in S tier. Because like, again, I'm not good in the post. I'm not good. Like this card for me, like I would have more success with the Mantis Sabonis than Yao Ming, the way I play the game. But I mean, Yao Ming is literally unguardable if you know what you're doing. But he is a niche. He is literally just a niche. So I don't know what I can do. Yao Ming is kind of similar to like someone that runs someone that runs Yao Ming center is like the equivalent of someone who runs Bonga point guard with a bunch of opals. They just have a specific play style and they need him to do a specific job and he does it. But yeah, Yao Ming A tier. Mitch Richmond, I mean same as Allen Houston. Mitch Richmond and Allen Houston will always be linked from their amethyst to their pink diamond. These two guys will always be linked in 2K. Put him in E tier. Oscar Robertson A. Big O, I'm a huge fan of Big O. A lot of people hate his release. I don't mind it. I'll be the first to say it. I do not mind Oscar Robertson's release. Big O has got a decent, in my opinion, jump shot. He can curry. He can get showtime. He gets showtime dunks. Good height at 6'5". I think he's just a better version of. I think he's just. Is he better than Smush Parker? Yeah, I think he's objectively better than Smush Parker. Although the way I play the game, what I need my point guard to do, give me Smush Parker over him. But yeah, I think he's A tier. I think he belongs close to A tier. Paul George, 1 tier. I'm gonna put Paul George in A tier. Really, really nice wing, really good length. Shoots the ball really well, in my opinion, and is just a beast of a card. He's A tier. Penny Hardaway, F. Absolute garbage, man. There is literally, actually, Penny at one stage was a niche as well. Like, there were a lot of people that were winning every game that were 5 out drop stepping with a Hall of Fame drop stepper Penny Hardaway. If you guys don't know, there were a bunch of Penny Hardaways on the market with half drop stepper, and it was just from people that used to. It was before they came out. Like, no one ever used Magic. It was before they came out with Lonzo and Bonga. So what people used to do was they used to just before they came Simmons as well, they used to just back down like the 6'2" point guards and drop step 5 out with Penny Hardaway and score every single time. And it worked so well. It worked so well. But now that there's taller point guards, it doesn't work as well. So he used to have a niche that he was very, very good at. But he doesn't, like, that niche is worthless now. Because you're not drop stepping Bonga. Like, you're barely even drop stepping Kyrie Irving with the way his defensive badges are. But when Penny came out, there was like a month spell where he was, even though I didn't know about it, there was very much a niche for him. The people really liked him. Rick Barry. I like his release. Super fast, so D tier. Off range. I very much overrated this guy. But yeah, he's D tier. Rudy Fernandez. He's B. He's B. He's fine. He's got great release, great behind the back. Dunks on everybody, off showtime. I don't think there's anything bad about this card. So, Rudy Fernandez, you're in B tier. Rudy Tomjanovic. Rudy to the moon. Rudy to the moon, A tier. His, like, only problem is that his speed is in the high 80s. Like, that's the worst thing about this card. If the worst thing about it is that speed is in the high 80s, then you know it's a good card. He's basically got the same release as Junior Bridgman, except he can curry slide, he's taller, can play power forward, small forward, and is just a really, really nice player. He's underrated because he's a lock-in, but he's very nice. Westbrook, D or E, and it all depends on your playstyle. Westbrook's release on current gen is fine, but slow. As in, it's slow, but you can still get it off. Westbrook's release on next gen is so slow that it's bored, like it's Jeff Petrie bad. But Westbrook, if you just hold R2 and want to dunk on everybody, Westbrook's one of the top 3 point guards in the game for that, and is also an elite defender. So Westbrook is going D tier. I don't think he's as good as Kobe White, Kyrie, or Dame Lillard, but yeah, Westbrook D tier. Then we got Big Diesel. Again, he's a bully. He's a bully. On next gen, the guys, I'm gonna put him D tier. Because on next gen, he's probably like B tier. But on current gen, he's awful. But he's a bully. He gets the best rebound animation in the game. He bullies people inside. If you're running a Dino, you're going to get eaten alive by someone drop stepping post game with Shaq. He's got that super speed, so he can take the ball up the floor. Like he can basically run as a point center. Shaq is so good on next gen that I'm putting him in D tier. Sean Marion. I mean, you guys would... Where did I put Marion? Did I forget to move him? Oh yeah, I did. So you guys might be thinking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put Marion in S tier. But I don't know. It's like, is he better than Paul George or Rudy Fernandez? Like that's the real question. It's like, he's either lower end of A or upper end of B. And I'm gonna put him, and I'm gonna explain why. If you can get used to his release, he's A tier. If you can't get used to his release, he's B or C. Simply put. He's got basically every badge you need. He's got that half range. He dunks on everybody. He's got the half showtime. His defense, while his steal and block ratings aren't good, he's got the tendencies and he's got the badges to make up for both of them. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast. And for a free card, he's exceptional. His dribbling is also pretty nice as well. You definitely have to evo him up. But yeah, I'm going to say Sean Marion A tier. But if you want to argue that Sean Marion should be in B or C tier, I'm not going to hold it against you. I think he's pretty good. Dentist S. Is this a full 10-man lineup? So we got point guard, or we got 2 centers. We got our power forward and LeBron James. We got point guard Lonzo and Jeremy Lin. We got Giannis at point guard. We got 4 wings. Yeah, this is our 10-man. This is our, and I've just skipped over it. This was what if I was to run a lineup in my team, it would potentially be this lineup here. Like if I was to say what is the best team in my team right now, I'd probably go with these guys. If it was me personally, maybe I'd run Chicken Man. I'd probably run Bonga at the point because I don't know, I'm just weird like that. But yeah, this team, these are 10 of my best players. I think the Dentist is definitely a little bit of an upgrade over Jordan, who's probably the best wing on this tier right here. But if you want to say Jordan over Terry, I'm not going to complain. Wally Zerbiak. I mean, it all depends. Like objectively speaking, I'm gonna put him C tier because he does 2 things. Like he shoots the ball at an elite rate, and he also defends really, really well when he's evoed. Like he's an elite defender. So my whole thing with Zerbiak is that if you need him to do anything but shoot and play defense, he's terrible. Like he's one of the worst. He's one of the worst recent dribblers 2K have released. The guy just can't dribble. He can't create his own shot. It all depends on what you need him for. If you need him the way I need Wally Zerbiak to just catch and shoot and play defense, he's fantastic. If you need him to do anything other than those 2 things, he's awful. So yeah, Zerbiak, let's put him in C tier. Walter Davis, 82 3-pointer, no hot zones. Yeah, he's got teammate base, but it's on normal. At this stage, very similar level to Eddie Jones, even badged up. Walt Frazier, I mean, he's in this tier. He's not better than Ben Gordon. As much as I like Walt Frazier, if I had Derrick Rose, Pink Diamond would be in this tier as well. He's not even the same stratosphere as Kobe White, Kyrie Irving, or Dame Lillard. So yeah, as much as I do think Walt Frazier is decent, yeah, he's D. Wayne Embry. I'm sorry, I'm putting Wayne Embry in D tier. I'm sorry, I get it. A lot of people really, really like the card. A lot of people loved him at the time. He was fantastic for his time. But like, Are you telling me Wayne Embry's better than Bill Russell? I don't think he is. Heck, I don't even think Wayne Embry's better than Byron Beck, who didn't even make the list. So, Wayne Embry, unfortunately, you were a beast. You were the best center in the game for your time. But the fact is that most centers of your time, such as Dave Cowens and a few others, are now not even on this list. Then we've got Wilt Chamberlain. See, just because he's a bully. He's a bully, and he's just a better version of Shaq. He's not that much better, but he's a better version of Shaq. And then Levine. Offensively, I mean, Levine's S tier offensively. I'm going to say that now, but I'm putting him in A tier because his defense leaves a lot to be desired. But Levine's insane. Like, he's kind of gone under the radar because he's a moments card, but I mean, like, Levine objectively is incredible. So he is somebody that I would definitely not sleep on. I wouldn't go out of my way to get him because of how expensive he is, but if you're ever coming up against him, I would advise you not to leave the dude open because he's a beast. So yeah, that is it. That is 15 minutes of talking. We have got these tier lists. We've got these guys in their tiers. And let me know what you guys think. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree. These are the best cards in the game, and a lot of it is to do with my playstyle. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.